Oh gosh, it's never ending. Oh, baby, what I can do for you.
Oh,
Shit.
man. Shit.
I couldn't stand Christmas. I've never been able to like it. And I think it's because of all the drama that surrounds Christmas for one day.
Yeah.
See, I've never experienced that.
And I was on a medication that required me to be on an antidepressant. And it was like a chemo-based drug for MS. And he said to me, Mom, will this help me being depressed? And I said, what?
Hello. Hi. I'm Mazie.
I'm Lindsey,
I'm Tina.
and this is Unfiltered Trauma Blondes
And Burdette.
and Brunettes. She's been on before, though.
Yeah.
Tina's one of my clients. We've known each other for, how long have we known each other now?
11 or 12 years since I walked in and said,
Yeah.
so it's been about that long.
It's crazy. You get very close to your clients. She's one of my best friends.
Living my life.
Aw, look at us. How was your week?
It was okay.
Yeah? How
Yeah.
you feeling?
I'm okay.
Good.
Rock on. I didn't go back on steroids, so that makes me feel better. And yeah, we'll just see what happens. But
So best part of the week was?
I got the A-OK from my doctor that I didn't need to go back on steroids and that he's comfortable that I'm not in a relapse any longer. So that makes me happy.
That's awesome.
Relapse from.
Multiple sclerosis.
That's awesome.
Yep. So
Congrats.
thank you.
That's got to be a big win.
Huge, huge. Even though you don't really see it as that, it's huge in my life because I go from day to day. She knows
She does.
what
a
I
struggle.
do.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot more than I ever knew about.
Well, and it's
For
also
sure.
crazy too because the steroids that you're taking to better that lowers your immune system.
It's horrible.
Which is then a whole other issue for you
Yes.
having MS. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, it's crazy. So that's a huge win.
Yes, and thankfully, like I said, and I did a round of IV. What do you call them? Vitamins
Just
for immune system.
Yeah.
Didn't know that stuff existed,
Yeah.
but put some pep in my step. So I've been
That's
doing
awesome.
things this week that I normally wouldn't be able to do because I'd
you
be
look
too
good,
tired.
Too.
Yeah,
Like,
you
look
do.
refreshed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And also just getting that news, like I said, is a big relief. Huge.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's not, a lot of people don't come out of it, or if they do come out of it, they have a permanent whatever, limp or whatever. So this really has helped me a lot. I'm so grateful. And it's because I was diagnosed almost 37 years ago when I was 18. And I saw a doctor and he said it was at a MS clinic and he said, don't take steroids unless you absolutely have to. Because if you do, every time you take them, it will decrease how it works in your system. I've taken them twice in my 37 years. This was my third time.
Oh,
So
wow.
I think that's why I responded so well to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
So
Yay.
Do you have a low of the week?
I think this week has started in the, kind of feeling sorry for myself because, my mom is in Michigan and she's the love of my life. She knows how I feel about my mother. It brings me to tears thinking of her. And not having her here for Christmas. Tomorrow is my birthday, so I turn 55 tomorrow.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. And I'm going to be doing that alone. I mean, I'll be with friends, but it's not like I'm a very family-oriented person, and I want my mom there, damn it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I want. That's what I want for my birthday. And then also I want my son here. So, I've got that also for Christmas. And I always say we hated Christmas, but at least we hated it together. We had hated what it had become.
Yeah.
It was more, one year we did which is brilliant. And it was his idea. He said, "Hey, Mom, let's do favors for each other and put it in wrap it up in a box, and that be our present." So we did IOUs one year because we just don't like Christmas. It's too
Yeah,
commercialized.
I would agree.
It's not about family, and that's what it really is about, you know?
Yep.
So,
That's cool that all of y'all felt the same way.
yeah. Oh, it's horrible. I couldn't stand Christmas. I've never been able to like it, and I think it's because of all the drama that surrounds Christmas for one day.
Yeah.
See, I've never experienced that.
The drama?
Yeah, I don't feel like, yeah. Like,
Besides arguing about time.
yeah, well, that's,
Yeah.
yeah, like, we don't really, my family, like, I hate to hear that. Christmas for us has never been, like, it's just, I love Christmas.
Yeah, my family doesn't family. So Christmas is,
What you do yourself.
yeah, but then whenever the family tries to family and you know that it's just because it's the holidays, it's like, well, don't text me.
Yeah.
You know what like, let's just,
It feels too forced.
yeah, but
Yeah.
not even forced, but like, I have family. You know what I mean? Like, I see my friends far more than I see my family.
Yeah.
And I have family that live so close. You know what I mean? And it's not by my not effort, like no effort. I stopped making effort because I was the only one making effort. And so then you just think about that. It makes Christmas hard in a different kind of way.
Yeah. And nobody likes to be alone for Christmas. I mean,
Yeah.
or the holidays.
Yeah.
We've got a date, but you know,
I'm so excited.
I really am. I'm so excited.
It's like, I hate Christmas. I'm like, you're coming to like the Christmassiest house ever.
She'll be like, tell me.
You know what? Maybe that's something that you can use to
I'm gonna look forward.
challenge it.
Yeah, to
You know
look
what I mean?
forward to it. Because normally I won't do anything because I'm not with my family.
Yeah.
I just lay on the couch, eat a peanut butter and jelly
that
sandwich,
with
and
my
watch
kids, yeah.
really shitty TV.
Yep.
It's not even worthy of a binge, but it's here I am. Then you can't wash your eyeballs from that, you know.
Yeah.
So
I don't have my kids this year for Christmas, and
Oh.
so last Christmas I did. The year before that I didn't, and I didn't do anything. I went mudding like by myself and
oh
just
gosh,
drove.
and
You
it
know what I
makes
mean?
it makes it hard.
It does because you sit
Um,
there and then it's like, oh, I could. Oh, I can't. They're with their family. Like,
Yeah.
fuck. Yeah.
And it's, you know, my niece and my nephews, they all live in Katy, and I'm so proud of them all and what they're doing in their lives. And they have their own kids, and they're doing their own thing. And I'm happy for that. But my little heart is over here going, I miss you guys so much.
Yeah.
If they, you know, I think, oh God, if you knew my heart, you know.
Yeah.
My brother comes in, and we may say 5 words the whole time he's home, but I'm so glad he's home. Just
Yeah.
knowing that someone, I guess, is in the house, you
Yeah.
know? So, in that aspect, like I said, you know, he's really good about making sure that he comes to visit when my mom can't and stuff like that. So that helps a lot,
Yeah.
even though he doesn't know it.
Yeah. Ugh. What was your high low?
It's probably the high. It's not a low. It's just the dramatic thing of the week, right? Ryder got a baby sister. She came Wednesday, and yeah, she's cute. She's cute. She's fat. She's a fat baby.
Good.
She was
She's healthy.
8 pounds
No.
something.
Oh,
And 3 weeks
ouch.
early.
No, ma'am. That's not coming out of me.
No.
Nope. Ain't no damn way.
Apparently, Ryder was there. He got to go. He wasn't like obviously in there. They went and got him after the baby came. He was at the hotel, but Ryder said it was 4 pushes. I'm like, dang girl, get it.
Ow.
Strong core.
No kidding.
Just shooting them out. It reminds me of Ace Ventura when they deliver the baby. And he goes in there and lifts it.
Yes.
And the skirt goes up. Tommy.
Yeah.
That's how Tommy delivers babies. according to myself.
We love Tommy. For the record, we love Tommy.
No, I'm glad she's healthy. She's a healthy girl.
Good.
Let the fun begin.
What was your high then? Was that also the high, kind of?
Yeah, it was just
Okay.
kind of like my thing. My
Yeah.
thing that happened this week. What about you?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I did last week or this week.
Work's going good?
Let's not talk about work.
Staying busy?
Always.
What about shopping? Is he
Oh, I have a high-low.
okay.
And it's one. So Jax, duh, is no longer a part of baseball. He is not on any select team. He's not like this is the first time in 8 years that we're not doing some sort of baseball. So we took a small break, and then
Was this his decision?
it was we had a family meeting at my house the Wednesday before last. We sat down, we talked about it, and or no, it was last Wednesday, and we all came to the same conclusion. Not influenced, not anything. It was a very much a yes or no, very analytical, like Jax is, and like I'm not getting better on this team. We have no business going. He was just so mature about it. And so he came up with his own
He'd actually
conclusion.
thought about
Yeah.
Good.
We came up with our own conclusions, and they all were like-minded. And he told his coach, he called him, and he was like, hey, I just want to say, this is my last tournament. I'm leaving as of now. I appreciate the opportunity. And his coach was like, okay, cool. And I think that kind of hurt Jax's heart.
Yes.
Because he can't get over the fact that it was a 40-second conversation. He was like, I looked at the time and it said 40 seconds.
So
And
was he hopeful that they would try to stop him?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Or at least tell him like, hey man, we're going to miss you. We appreciate what you've put in, the time, the effort. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And nothing.
Yeah.
I'm speechless.
I know. And it,
It's a life lesson, right?
Yeah.
Grown men can act like babies too.
well, but that's what hurts my heart. Like he needs so many good men in his life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He needs those role models, and to see his coach, you know what I mean?
Maybe he didn't know what to say. Maybe he was really surprised. Maybe he was like,
But this isn't the first time it's happened in the last 3 or 4 weeks for
Yeah.
him. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So it's like, don't take it out on him if you're upset. If you're not upset, can you at least pretend like you're going to miss him?
or like say, hey,
damn.
I'm proud of you
Yeah,
for being a kid
yes.
and calling me and acting
You've
like a man
improved.
and having this
Yeah.
conversation with me. Because
Exactly.
that takes nuts.
And we've been on this team for years. Stupid. So stupid. But we've been on this team for years. You know what I mean? So it's just, and the assistant coach is his best friend's dad.
Are kind of like divorces. Like you see,
They
where
really
people
are.
at the
Yes,
end.
yes. It's terrible.
It gets dirty for a minute.
And
And
then
if you come back from it and you're good, though, you're like, all right. Shit just gets awkward sometimes. And
Yeah.
I think we don't know how to handle it.
I just hate whenever, I think this is why I kind of stay away from women. They are very, it's convenience. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like all the baseball moms go do something as a group, and then they develop this friendship, but then one of them leaves and all of a sudden she's not allowed to come anymore because her son's not on the team. That's not a friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a group. That's just a group of women who want to have their fucking kids together, and as soon as they're not allowed to, like, that's high school bullshit. We don't like her because she blah, blah, blah. Shut the heck. Go sit down. You liked her just fine when you were sucking her tits last weekend.
There's only one person I can think of that I was like, I didn't like her, but I don't think I actually even got the chance to. We kind of had a little tiff.
Mm-hmm.
And she called me one night, and I think she thought she was going to put me in my place. And I was like,
Yeah.
not that kind of girl.
Hmm.
But ended up, I repeated what I was told. I'm like, yeah, I absolutely said it, and I meant it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was told it, and so it really was not me necessarily, right? I was
Mhm.
like, I mean, this is what's being said.
Yeah.
But she wasn't hateful after that necessarily, but I was like, that's the only tip I've had really with any mom
Oh,
that
I
I
wish I
can
could
think
say
of.
that. You witnessed one. Well,
I
James did.
did.
Yeah.
No, I was there too. I
Were
remember
you?
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, but we weren't sitting directly next to each other. I was like,
That was
what's
so
going on? I could
humiliating.
only partially hear what was going on.
So humiliating. And so unnecessary.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm so glad my son was never in sports.
Yeah.
No, I'm grateful. When he was young, he was in soccer, but he was like 5 and 6. They don't really care if you succeed. They just want you to run in one direction. It doesn't matter.
you're
You know what I
herding
mean? You're
cats.
just basically having fun. So grateful. He just never really got into sports. He was good at it, but he didn't like to rely on other people.
Did you see a weenie this week? Did anybody send you any dickies?
No.
She's like, oh, Loudy.
What about weirdos? Did you get any weirdos? People message you too all the time, right?
Oh gosh, it's never ending. Oh, baby, what I can do for you.
Oh,
Shit.
man. Shit.
You're so full of it.
Yeah.
There ain't a thing you can do for me. And take the pencil away. I don't need it. The eraser's gone.
Oh my gosh.
What about you? Weenie weirdo?
Nope.
Me either. What is happening?
It's because you did what you did.
Blasted some
Yes.
I actually want them.
Yeah, you do.
I don't.
Yeah, you do.
I definitely only laugh at the shit. It's not like I enjoy them. Like, I'm gonna create I was watching something the other day. Somebody made like a deck of cards. It's a deck of cards as a gift.
That's what I sent you that.
Was that you?
Yes, and
Okay.
then and then there was something else that was a dick shaped something. I'm like,
Table.
I'm never talking to her. Yes, the table. They made a table. It was live edge wood, and it would just happen to be in the shape of dick and balls. So then they epoxied around it. It was actually beautiful.
It was beautiful.
It was not the penis, but just the concept and the
penis was
table.
rough.
It was
It
very
was a little mangled.
Yeah,
Mangled dick.
yeah, it was. It was a banana, mushroom, and like big bull balls
Well,
that
the
kind of
balls are,
seemed.
like separated too.
I think we had 3.5 balls. Actually.
3.5?
Yeah,
You had a
maybe.
tuba.
And the
Not a
tuba and the tube.
All right, are we ready?
That's an odd thing to leave off on this transition.
So I'm gonna let you take it from here.
I think it's perfect.
Well,
Speaking of weenies.
we're gonna play like a game. Okay, so the topic today is holiday. Did you come up with a different name?
No, I forgot to ask chat.
Damn. Well, we're not gonna name it till the end
You'll see it on the gram.
on the gram. But we're gonna be discussing grief, holiday grief.
Yes.
We're gonna start though with some random questions to get to know you.
Oh, okay.
All right. So,
I'm an open book.
do you have a college degree?
Yes.
What's it in?
Chemical dependency counseling.
Really?
Licensed chemical dependency counselor. Yes.
Okay.
That's why I'm a virgin, non-alcoholic, ever been drunk person.
Did you say you're a virgin?
Yeah.
I threw it in there.
Hello, this is Mary.
Bing! Big light turns on. How come
You ask a question now.
What is your current job?
I work at a local bar, Johnny B. Dalton's. The most fun you can have with your boots on.
I swear.
If you don't know the slogan, everybody knows it.
Everybody knows it. The jingle.
I love it though. I hate it, love it. You know, it kind of has its days and moments, but I get to see so many people and I see so many cool things. Teen nights that we were just talking about. I get to see, first time dates. I get to see first time kisses. I get to see first time loves. I get to
Yeah.
see heartbreak. I see a lot.
So Johnny
In my
Dalton's
job.
has a teen night, and it's what age?
13 to 19.
13 to 19.
19
No
with
parents are
13?
allowed.
If parents want to come in, they can come in and sit at the bar, but they have to stay at the bar. They can't go around and talk to other kids. They can't go to the bathroom, that type of thing. They can only drink Cokes. They can only do certain things, and
They're
that's
not allowed to have vape pens or anything like that in there, right?
No.
So it's just
No.
sodas, and they do watch them closely.
we have like a chaperone in the boys' room. We have a chaperone in the women's bathroom. We have like 6 chaperones around the bar, plus our employees, plus we have a police officer. We try to keep it as safe for kids as possible.
Do you make it known like who's 13, who's 19?
You know what? Everybody, a lot of parents have a problem. They say that is a huge age gap.
Yeah.
But do you know what? They stay with their own own age group. They don't want to hang out with each other. And it's really apparent.
not
You
really.
will see very young kids here. You will see older kids here, but they're with their own group of kids. They don't want to be with young kids. They don't try.
That makes sense.
The other kids are, still running around horse playing. They're not there to do the adult thing,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they're still. Yeah, that makes sense.
you can still see the age difference, and you can tell, and we never have problems. And if there's ever a problem, we have, my owner, who certainly takes no crap from anything. You get barred immediately. Like, he scares me. So he doesn't, not anymore, but he used to.
I always liked him.
But I just work the front door, and it allows me to be out. I have like a night out, and then it also allows me to accommodate the disability that I have, and without overtaxing me too much.
Yeah.
So, love my job.
That's awesome.
Was that your question?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. How old were you when you lost your V card?
Oh God, are you really gonna ask me this?
Mm-hmm.
I
On
was
camera.
I was like 17 years old.
Really? That's
Yes.
good.
That's really good.
Maybe 18.
Aw, you were a sweet girl. Did you turn into a whore after that?
No, I was in that relationship for a very long time. And then yeah, it was like a 7-year relationship.
Dang.
Really?
Yeah. I've never been, good Lord, I've never had a one-night stand. There isn't a single soul who can come back and go, I did so with you. No, they
Yeah.
didn't. There is not, that's not me. They have always turned into relationships, long-term ones. So yeah, great first boyfriend.
Really?
Oh, I still am friends with him.
That's cool.
He went through being diagnosed with MS with me. Never left the hospital. He stayed there. He didn't go to work. He didn't
how
do
old was he?
anything. He was 18.
Oh.
Wow.
Graduated from high school, and he was just so amazing about
My
it.
high school boyfriend would have not been that way.
See,
Absolutely not.
I was so grateful. I had a really great first boyfriend. Really,
That's awesome, because that sets the stage for
Yes.
expectations.
Oh,
big time.
hugely.
So,
so
that's
many
so-
men did not cut it because of, he just taught me, like, this is not what you're
why
going to
did y'all
accept.
not work out?
I think because we just kind of grew complacent, and of course we're young, so we don't know. We're just in a relationship, and we can't control certain things. We don't know how to have a fight without being mean, that type of stuff. All of that adds up, and I was out of town, and he started dating my best friend, and they ended up getting married. And I was very hostile about that for a good while, and then she randomly emailed me and said she was sorry, and I was like, okay, and we just are friends now. So
That's so
and I love and adore them both. He was just as much of an asshole. No, he wasn't. We needed a shit or get off the pot, and he got off the pot, and that's, we wouldn't have grown. I wouldn't have had the life I've had it been with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely. You got another one?
How many children do you have?
I have one that is deceased, and that's the end of my children.
Okay.
I have 3 cats
And an owl.
and 2 owls.
She loves like outdoor life.
Yes, I love animals. I love animals to pieces. I think they're better than humans.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
They absolutely are.
Do not deserve them, but I have them.
Yep.
So I'll use this as the transition. Tell us about your son.
So my son's name was Nathan, and he was an extraordinary young man. He was 25 years old, and this is during the pandemic, of course, but my son was just a really great kid from the very start of life. He had colic, so he was a pain in the ass, and then he had ear infections and stuff like that. But as he got older, he was just an amazing, happy little boy. And then he was very anal. You could take cars and line them out, and he would take, and if you took and moved one of them, just one, and moved it and exchanged it with another one, he would go back and put it the way it was. It could be 3 hours later, he would remember, and it drove him crazy. And so I always wondered, like if he had autistic or if he had autism, like on a high spectrum, like Asperger's or something, and it was misdiagnosed as something else, which caused something else, So he was a straight A student. He was an honors student. He went to college. He was 2 credits away from his physics degree, and then was going on to he wanted to be an astrophysicist. He was a tender-hearted boy. He was a mama's boy for sure, because I spoiled him rotten. I couldn't yell at him. If I yelled at him, it was like 5 minutes of screaming, and he'd go, "Why'd you tell me sorry? I was the asshole." And I'm like, "I didn't mean to yell at you. I should have handled it better." But we were very close. And so for a lot of people who probably don't understand and won't understand this, I didn't get physical custody of my son when I divorced from his dad. Because he was so young and I had multiple sclerosis, if I had a bad day, I couldn't go and get my son out of bed, or cook him dinner or lunch or whatever. And so as much as I wanted to fight it, I also had to be logical about it and do what was best for my son. And the hardest decision probably I've ever had to make, besides his death stuff, is that he's got to go live with his dad. And that meant I wasn't being an active mom or participant mom. So that really bothered me, because a lot of people never understood what it took for me to not fight that, to let it happen. And my ex-husband and I used to get along really well. He got remarried, and then all of a sudden I turned into this really horrible person, and okay. So we fought. There was a lot of tension between her and I and him and I, because I'm like, stand up, have a pair of balls, stick up for your kid, don't let her do this. And so Nathan came to me, he was about 14 years old, and I was on a medication that required me to be on an antidepressant. And it was like a chemo-based drug for MS. And he said to me, "Mom, will this help me being depressed?" And I said, "What?" And I wasn't even taking it for depression, but my son knew that it was for depression, and that scared me. So I called his dad. And his dad had not informed me that Nathan, my son, had started harming himself. And so I didn't find out until that summer.
Wait, you say that he knew that? Dad knew that?
Dad knew that.
And didn't tell you?
And didn't tell me.
I could not imagine.
Until this was in the winter. This is in the summers when I found out, because he was wearing like those long sleeve shirts in the wintertime. And I was just livid. So I went to, I was remarried at the time, and said, we got to do something. This cannot go on. And then he was and I know that this is how they thought it was the best way to handle it for him, but in retrospect, it was abuse, to ground him, to take away things from him, because he didn't understand why he was cutting and why it made him feel better. It took a lot of fighting. And then finally Nathan turned of age and he just said, I'm going to go live with mom. And it really took a lot for my son to do that. It really hurt him to do that because he loved his dad so much and he knew that he lost his dad's respect, or what he felt he had lost.
So if I can, I'd like to pause because I know that you have statistics written down that you want to share. I I also self-harmed during high school. Mine was like on my upper thigh because I could cover it with my softball shorts. I was wearing sweatshirts during the summer, always having a long sleeve of some kind. It was my first semester of my freshman year. And I say that because I remember when all of it was happening, my dad was so pissed off at me and made it out to where I was doing it for attention.
Yes.
And so what you just said was not understanding why he liked feeling it. That is something that I had to go through years of therapy and all of that to realize that it actually had everything to do with if I was going to hurt, this was the pain that I was controlling.
Yep.
I
that
was the
makes
one
sense.
who got to
Yep.
decide that I was going to hurt in this
Yes,
moment.
you're
You get to actually
very
feel
right.
it. You don't really feel a pain when it's emotional, and like making it real, making it tangible, something that makes sense. You understand if you've got an open wound on your body,
Yeah.
why it hurts so fucking
Yeah.
much. So it
So-
makes sense to me.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
never done it, but I've like, I have a family member that has, and yeah, that just, it just makes, I can understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's he wasn't prideful of it. He was very ashamed. That's obviously why they hide it. He didn't understand it. And he had scars all the way down. And then he had obviously scars here. He also burned himself a couple of times really badly. So I got him immediately into, I wanted him to see help. And so
Were y'all living here?
I
at
was
this
living
point?
in Austin.
Okay.
And he got away from the school system, which he didn't like anymore because it was a bunch of prisoners, families moving there, lots of gangs and stuff. And he was just like, I don't get an education. I want my education. So we got him into a charter school when he moved to Austin and immediately got him into therapy. He saw a psychiatrist and a psychologist. And I also went to the psychologist. I wanted to understand why my son would want to hurt his perfect, beautiful body. I just couldn't understand that. Like, literally could not wrap my head around it. I've been mad, I've been sad, I've been, to the depths of whatever, and I just didn't understand it until I went and educated myself. And I'm so thankful that I did, because I didn't ever shame my son for doing what he did. I understood it from the way that I could only understand it. And then he finally one day just came up and he wrote love across my wrist. And he said, I'll never cut again, I promise. It was out of the blue for me and him. And we were close. Like I said, I knew, I know everything, and he was okay with that. He always said, if any good came from him, it was because of me. And there was nothing I couldn't do. If I did it, when he looked up to you, there was nobody better who could do it. He was just that way, So, it was just literally, I think one of the big things that had to do with it is one of the last times that he come running down the stairs and he said, Mom, I got to go to the hospital, and then passed out. I was like, whoa. Looked at him, grabbed ice, put it on there. I had no idea at this time because we were dealing not with him being active in cutting. When that happened, I think that when the authorities came in and talked to him, that he was like, I'm under care, and my parents are aware and they love me. They're not hurting me. This is me being dumb. And so he didn't get a hold or anything like that. He got to come home with us, but he had 23 stitches across his wrist. And so I think that scared him because he went too deep that time. He found out how close to death he really was. And at that time, he valued life.
So, okay, so then continue on with.
Yeah, tell us kind of what.
So, on and off, he was diagnosed with depression and bipolar, not bipolar, BPD-T or something like that, borderline personality disorder. And I'm not told anybody really this story about him because the shame that people get and the labels that they get when he tried so hard to fight them. He always found the weak people that he felt were injured so that he could fix them. And there was so much brilliance and beauty in it, and just he couldn't see who he was for himself. But it started out with depression, and he would sometimes rage at me, and that was okay. I understood. I just, he knew that if I hung up, that I was at my point of where it was abuse and I would no longer take it. And he'd always call back the next day and say, "Hey, Mom, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to." He took accountability. And like he said, it's just like a switch. And so it was really wild. And it took a journey of its own. And he finally had started to mellow out. And those didn't happen as often. And he was very prone to panic attacks, disabling. He had night terrors. And a lot of this is all stemmed from abuse. The borderline personality disorder, usually if you look back, it's from childhood trauma. Well, he didn't get trauma from me. So, and you can't place blame. I mean, blame is something that is not effective in trying to figure out situations like this. So you just take it and go from there,
How old was Nathan?
He was 25
25.
when he decided to die.
Okay.
13 days away from his 26th birthday.
Tell us kind of like what transpired. What was he going through in life? Where was he? He was a chef at the time, right?
Yes.
And what was he doing? And like what you think kind of happened that
night? So that night you get different stories. This is the detective story that he could piece together and kind of come to their conclusion. And that was that, Nathan, first of all, it was during COVID. So everything was at the very beginning of COVID and everybody was panicked and, locked down. Except for if you serve food, you could go in and have so many people. So he worked at the Lonesome Dove in Austin, and he loved it. He moved up the line as the line chef very quickly because he's an overachiever. And so I really, really was happy because he was so happy. He was like, I found my niche, I found my people. And all this while I'm like, oh, great. All of a sudden he was calling me and it felt like he had his life together. He was happy. He had friends that he was, besides just as one group, he was seeing a broader band of people, I guess. And he went out that night with 3 of his coworkers and
male,
himself.
Female?
Male.
All male?
All male coworkers. Yep. And
do you know where they went?
They went to a bar across the street that serves food, and he had they're the Mexican waters, the carbonated.
Oh, Topo?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And that was his favorite thing to drink. He wasn't a big drug user. He wasn't a big drinker. He didn't really drink at all. Every once in a blue moon, he'll have an old fashioned. Literally, my son drank old fashions. He wasn't a beer person. He wasn't an alcohol person. Did he like to smoke marijuana? Yes, he did. It helped with his anxiety, or in his way that it, calmed him down especially during the panic attacks. So I was like, keeping it natural. You know, we're good. But that night, it was a Friday, the 15th, and he was out. So who knows? From that point, they went to an after hours club. They weren't there but 10 minutes and left. Didn't see where he got into an Uber, how he got home. Nobody knows, but he got home. And then he called a friend that he was working with, and I guess he was like, why did you guys leave me? Why did you leave me? And he's like, I got my ass kicked, and it was your guys' fault. And I have no idea if this is true, but there is where in the corner of one of the cameras, they could see a skirmish, but it was just right kind of out of the angle, and so they never could make out, but there was a lot of feet. And so he said, I think that was Nathan. And he said that the reason they had left is because these kids had fought at the bar or had started a fight, and Nathan was like, I'm out of here. And Nathan wasn't a fighter. So I get the call the next day on Saturday. No, this is Saturday. I didn't hear anything. So Sunday I get a call from his dad, and he said, I'm in Austin, Nathan's missing. I said, what? What do you mean missing? He's like, he didn't show up for work. And I knew then that it was serious because my son would never not call in. I said, okay, what do you need me to do? And he said, stay there in case he's on his way to visit you, and put a post out on Facebook. And so I did. And it was shared so many times. I was so grateful. One of my Facebook friends found his car in downtown Austin. He was looking.
That's crazy.
And he actually, that's how we became friends, is he found his vehicle. So we knew that he wasn't with his vehicle. So we had another family member at his apartment, and he stayed there. So his dad went back there, stayed there, and finally he had to call the police again. The last time he said, his dad's in law enforcement. So he was like, I'm gonna say shots fired, so you have to be here. He said, I've waited 9 hours. So they got there, busted down the door, and my son was there, and he had shot himself. So, can't even think about the fact that my son was alone and had to be. Can you imagine how that felt? How alone he felt? I think I wasn't there for him. I was in there to make him feel better. And then I get angry. Why didn't he call me? I would have been there. I would have done anything in my power. His friends are ill-equipped to handle that type of emotion. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry at all.
And I didn't know what way it was going to go.
I told you.
And I knew that something was wrong. I knew that my son was not going to come home. I called my mom. You know, we were all in contact with each other. And I said, Mom, I don't think it's going to end well for Nathan. And I knew this at by 1 in the afternoon. And about 6 o'clock, I guess, I called my mom up in Michigan, and I said, it's not going to end well. He's not coming home. And she said, I don't think so. Everybody knew he had already died but me. And so she was
They
trying.
knew?
Yeah.
It had been confirmed, and they hadn't told you.
Why?
They were waiting for me to not be alone and have family with me, which I appreciated. I mean, I know that it was out of love. And my sister-in-law, I had my brother's dogs at the time, and I was letting them out the back door, and they took off running out to the front. And I was like, oh no. And then there was a cop car there. And then my sister-in-law called. And then she said, just walk away, Tina. Just go in the house and lock the door. Tell him you can't talk. We're almost there. And I knew that Nathan was gone. I just didn't know how. I really thought it was going to be murder or something like that, somebody bothered him on the way home, something. But it was suicide. And my life changed forever. And I now know that it was the last symptom of my son's illness. We all have my cancer patients, they have death as their last illness or last symptom. I'm so sorry. What
did you do? How do you even, that's literally.
I remember being so sorry. I'm so snotty, y'all. I don't want to be ugly on camera.
Beautiful.
But so I remember being down on the ground, rocking back and forth, and my nieces that are just new mamas are hugging me, and my sister-in-law is holding me, and I just am saying, no, this can't be the way that he died. This can't be his story. This is not how it's supposed to be.
No.
We are supposed to outlive our kids. And I knew then that I was never going to let my shame be Nathan's shame anymore. And that essence, or what I mean, I guess, is that people were asking me, how did he die?